Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. We're going to look at World Championship Wrestling from November 30th, 1985. And Rodney, I think you got the rundown.
I do. We start off with the hot open with the Rock and Roll Express coming to the ring for the cage match for the World Tag Team Championship from Starrcade. And, of course, this match, this show, I believe, was a kind of a best-of type show because it featured a lot of matches from Starrcade as well as other matches from, I think, previous. I don't think there was actually a live show that week. Anyway, first match on the card was, of course, Tony and David Crockett opened up the show, and they went to the first match for the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. It's Khrushchev defeating Sam Houston for the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship, or becomes the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. In that match, it was Sam Houston had put the Bulldog on Khrushchev. Khrushchev close to the ropes, and then as Houston had him pinned, it was Crusher Khrushchev putting his foot up on the rope. Referee catches it. Houston thinks he's won, and then it's Crusher Khrushchev up with the Russian sickle. Then in the pin, Houston puts his foot up on the rope, and then Khrushchev knocks it off, ends up winning the Mid-Atlantic Championship. Second match on it was Terry Taylor defending the National Heavyweight Championship against Buddy Landell. Landell becomes the new National Heavyweight Champion when it was James J. Dillon tripping Terry Taylor when he was trying to execute the superplex on Buddy Landell. Landell falls on top of him, and the winner and new National Heavyweight Champion is Buddy Landell. I think that's probably the first title that Buddy Landell had in his career. While we're there at this point, let's go over some of the other matches for Starrcade because it just finished. Other matches for the Texas Bull Rope match. Cowboy Ron Bass against Black Bart. Bass wins that one. Then he also wins the match, the 5-minute Bull Rope match against James J. Dillon. James J. Dillon ends up winning that Bull Rope match. Then we had the cage match for the United States Heavyweight Championship in the I Quit rules. Magnum TA regains the United States Championship after Tully Blanchard says, "I quit." Then any other cage match, and of course, all of this is in Greensboro. And that was before the World Tag Team Championship. No time limit, no disqualification. The Rock and Roll Express wins against Ivan and Nikita Koloff. Then we go to the Omni in Atlanta for Starrcade, and it was the Mexican Death Match, one of the most popular matches of the entire card. People were waiting in line to see this when Manny Fernandez beating Abdullah the Butcher. Billy Graham defeated the Barbarian in the $10,000 arm wrestling contest by disqualification, and then he goes on to win the match against the Barbarian as well. National Tag Team Championship was on the line as Ole and Arn Anderson defeated Wahoo McDaniel and Billy Jack Haynes. The Atlanta Street Fight, Jimmy Valiant, Miss Atlanta Lively with Big Mama defeat the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette, and the main event, Dusty Rhodes defeated Ric Flair. World Heavyweight Championship was on the line, but however, Arn Anderson got involved, causing a disqualification. Belt returned to Ric Flair. However, Dusty Rhodes did win the match. We all know what that's called, and that's what took place at Starrcade 1985. Tremendous card, tremendous matches, and I think one of the best Starrcades ever. Next match on the card was match number 4, Midnight Express with Jim Cornette against Rocky King and Italian Stallion. It's Bobby Eaton with a leg drop off the top rope onto the Italian Stallion, and then on Rocky King, and then it's Dennis Condrey in with the Brainbuster. Midnight Express over in that interview with Billy Jack Haynes. He talks about the Russians, talks about the Barbarian coming up, and then of course match number 5, Tommy Lane versus Manny Fernandez. It's of course Manny Fernandez winning that one with a flying burrito. I'm not sure if we could call it that anymore. Interview with Manny Fernandez. Not sure what he said. Anyway, in that match. It's match number 6, Black Bart Thunderfoot against the Road Warriors. This is some action. We've been waiting for this, but they've been building this for weeks. And at the desk during this match was Ivan Koloff. Paul Ellering gets in the face of Ivan Koloff, and the Russians beat up Paul Ellering, and then it's Animal out to try to save him, and then it's the Russians Hawk out to save him. The Russians double up on Animal, catches him with the Russian change in the clothesline. Just outstanding stuff. Road Warriors and the Russians, like I said, building that up for quite a while, and we're ready for that one. Interview with Jim Crockett, and talks about next week on the Championship Series, there will be, in all the Championship Series matches from this point on, only matches can be won by pinfall or submission. If there is a time limit draw, the match will then continue. And next week on the program will be a 6-man tag team matches. Ole and Arn Anderson, along with Tully Blanchard, face Magnum TA, Sam Houston, and Billy Jack. Match number 7, it's Ronnie Garvin giving the Garvin punch to Jim Jeffers. And, of course, Garvin the win, and that Garvin just tremendous. Then we have an interview with the Road Warriors, hot after the Russians about what just happened to Paul Ellering. And, of course, getting ready for their big match. And, of course, Animal snatches the microphone away from Tony. I like that. Anyway, Tony, I don't think liked it, but I liked it. Tremendous interview for the Road Warriors. Interview with Arn Anderson, and he talks about the World Television title. Of course, it's going to be coming up in a tournament coming up. He talks about Dusty Rhodes. He talks about that he has one of the best win records on television. And, of course, he says that he possesses the belt. He should be the champion. And they said he shows, and then they show a match with him doing the Gork Buster on Jim Jeffers. And I think that was from the Mid-Atlantic show. And then from the Mid-Atlantic show, it shows Arn Anderson with an interview with Bob Caudle. And from behind, Dusty hits him in the back of the head, knocks him down, and takes the World Television Championship belt back. It was awesome. People in the arena were really loved that. And of course, they come back and they re-showed Dusty hitting Arn with the chair and getting the belt back. Then at that point, we go to an interview pre-recorded in front of a fire with Nelson Royal as he describes the the Bunkhouse Stampede matches coming up, and Royal does an outstanding job explaining this one and set it up. And I'm telling you, it's and of course this is a battle royal where you come dressed as you are, bring what you want to. There's no rules, and match continues until one man's remaining in a battle royal type setting. Interview with Jim Crockett. He talks about the World Television Championship belt. He also talks about the tournament that's going to be signed for January the 4th, 1986 for the World Television Championship. It's going to be a one-night tournament for the World Television Championship. And then at the close of the show, they go back and show the match from the Great American Bash. It was a cage match for the World Television Championship. And it's Tully Blanchard faced Dusty Rhodes. And, of course, Dusty wins with a pile driver from the Great American Bash. And that closes the show.
I thought it was a great episode. Jack, any comments about the show, November 30th, 1985?
Yeah, I wanted to go back and look at the pay-per-view itself, but I have not been able to find it.
Me either.
It's not on the WWE Network. It's not on YouTube. I would love to see that again because I remember it being, just fantastic. And this was a great episode, recapping a lot of the stuff that went on.
I thought Khrushchev, Sam Houston had a tremendous match on this. And by the way, the referee, Sonny Fargo, Roughhouse Fargo, referee in this match. Also, I love the ring announcer. Always loved that ring announcer from that. I thought he was a tremendous ring announcer. And I won't be honest with you, the Terry Taylor, Buddy Landell match I thought was great. I know we give Terry Taylor a hard time here on Pro Wrestling Inside Out, but I thought it was, and I thought the finish was spectacular.
Yeah.
I thought it was so well done. By the way, at ringside, Ringside Rosie was at ringside. And folks that don't know who that is, Ringside Rosie, there was a guy named Red that sold programs, put up the ring. He did marry her, but she used to come to matches all the time. We used to call her Ringside Rosie. Also, there were some girls that I can't remember their names from Murphy, North Carolina, sitting at ringside as well, and they used to come to the matches for years. I noticed them at ringside. David Crockett's mic not working, the best part of the show. David, we love you.
I love you.
We love you, David.
There was sound problems from the beginning of this, even during that first match with Crusher Khrushchev and Terry, and Sam Houston. Bob Caudle would talk, and then he would say, "What do you think about Tony?" And then we'd throw it to Tony, and we didn't hear anything. And then we'd hear Bob Caudle talking again, and then he'd go back to Tony. Nothing.
I did the same thing one time, and only one part of the commentary could be heard. So, I wasn't alone in that. It's been done by even TBS.
Yeah, I would assume. And this could be, it might not have ever aired that way. It may not have. It's just that when somebody recorded or dubbed it, it may not have had all the channels because it was done in stereo. So it may have
that could be true. Billy Jack Haynes calls Paul Jones, Tom Jones, at the beginning of his interview. He finally picked up, said Paul.
It was probably Tony whispering, "It's Paul. It's Paul. Paul Jones." Who? Paul. Who's Paul?
I thought the Road Warriors, I thought Thunderfoot and Black Bart had a great match, and I thought Black Bart was over there. I mean, he was selling and doing stuff for the Road Warriors. I was impressed. We give Black Bart a hard time, but man, what a great match they had. I loved it. Dusty hitting Arnold with the chair. I loved that. I thought that was so good. Because, man, he you know what? He did more than just hit. Because it was more of a just slam it down on his head. Because it was so good. I'm pretty sure poor Arn was his head was ringing a little bit. Because, man, he hit him hard with that. Nelson Royal telling the story. You couldn't have found a better person to tell the story for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, that was great.
It was tremendous how they did it, and what a crowd for the Dusty Tully match at the end. And they went nuts. And now that shows you right there, folks. I want all wrestling people. If you are a wrestling promoter, if you are somebody promoting wrestling, I want you to watch that. The people was not. They were just. You could hear them yelling and screaming. But when Dusty beat them, the place went nuts. You don't have to do everything in one night. Slow down. And I think you'll find that the fans will get more of that. Even the thing told you to slow down. So anything else we need to talk about World Championship Wrestling from November 30th, 1985?
I think we got it covered.
All right, give us the big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. It lets us know that you care about what we're doing. And then like, share, tear.
Like,
share, hit that notification bell.
There you go. I was having to read my notes here. I didn't know that. But anyway, yes,
I was about to drop the hammer, so I just went ahead and did it.
Please share the video and do like the video. We appreciate you watching our videos, and we thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next video right here on Pro Wrestling Inside Now.